Just a second, guys. I didn't realize the webcam wasn't plugged in. All right. That's better. Let's see if we can't drop it into place, though. Right about there. Well, that's not perfect. But that'll serve. Hey! Greetings, Commanders! It's Wednesday night. All right. I gotta say greetings, Commanders. That really gets there hard, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's Wednesday night. Thanks for joining us. I'm happy to be able to host this and actually have people watching, so that's exciting. So tonight's big battle is the Season 4 Finals. This is the losers match from last week's contest. So tonight's match is between the third and fourth finishers. It's the battle for third place. But as most of you know, we are probably not going to see a battle. NYC and AXR are on the same server. They have shared guild members on the galactic battles on the path to get to the finals. And there was a patch last week that led to some controversy, which ultimately means that they didn't get a fair shot at a good match between GBD last week. So there's been some back and forth. The full story has finally been revealed to me, or as much as the real story is. I did a video last week talking about said controversy. And now that everything has come to light, I think it's worth mentioning that there's some shenanigans going on. There are some shenanigans. So we will get into that later. So, am I getting there, Mike? I think I'm getting to the point where I'm willing to accept the current state of things. I think the next step is going to be, I don't know. Maybe finally doing this frame right. But for now, it serves, right? We got a screen here. We got a name. We got a chat room. People can interact. That's what we wanted. The Oakland Raiders of Ark of War. Yeah, I'll get into that story later. So it looks like Rizel is here. Rizel is sitting on the sideline. Check that out. Wow. So AXR and NYC did actually join the fight, which surprises me. For those of you who don't know, every time a galactic battle goes down, for just joining and being a part of the battle, just for joining and watching a replay, you can donate medals to the fighters, the players, and whoever gets the most medals usually gets an award. If you get enough medals, you get a special banner around your name. For example, after you get, I think, the third highest prize, you get these avatars. And it says here, so if you're given 1,000,000 points, you get the purple one here, but that's the highest. This one here is 400,000 points. This one here is 80,000 points and 5,000 points. So it doesn't take much. You just give those medals to the players, and it gives them a little something for sharing a replay. And, you know, it contributes to the community involvement in the game. So, all right. Let's jump into the galactic battle, and we'll talk storyline. Let's see. NYC, AXR. There we go. All right. Where do we start? Ooh, look at that. Saying hello. So let's start from the beginning. Last week on Sunday, there was a patch. The patch said that from now on, in order to compete in the galactic battle, guildmates must have been in the guild for 72 hours. That was the patch notes for the next patch the following day. The next night, 24 hours later, Monday night, the patch went live. 2 days later, so that was Monday night it went live. Tuesday, Wednesday was the battle of NYC versus GBD. Which means that anyone that was not in NYC on Sunday night, when the patch notes came out, if you were not in NYC Sunday night, for whatever players that were in AXR on their server, were not able to compete in the Galactic Battle Wednesday night. And you might say to yourself, well, if they're really in the guild, they should have been in NYC anyway. Well, no. That's because because the guilds merge, servers merge, from older servers get merged to newer servers, get merged to newer servers. It's a constant thing. The developers force it upon us. It is not something we choose to do. And most players do not like merges, especially players that aren't in the top 10, because usually they get bullied for a long time, and then they have to shield all the time. And then they finally settle in and know their place on the new server, and then they merge and start getting bullied again. So a lot of players don't like merges. But there are 670, almost 700 different servers now, which really only equates to about 85 servers. That's how many merges have kind of coupled them together, because they can't afford to have 700 worldwide servers. So in order to save costs, they merge servers. Well, the cost of that is that guilds will decide to ally up and merge onto those new servers. So not only is it our server and other guilds in the Galactic Battle, but NYC and AXR are a merged server that share a guild. The spirit of the Galactic Battle is that it's guild versus guild, not server versus server. But the developers didn't anticipate that players would start guild hopping to give their servers the best chance of winning. So what happened is that going into the round of 4 in the semifinals of Season 4 on a Sunday night, 3 days before the first match, they institute a patch that says if you're not in the guild for 3 days, you cannot compete. Well, you can blame AXR NYC for not switching it up in time. You could say that in the middle of the night in some parts of the world, they wouldn't have got that message until it was too late to change the guilds anyway. The bottom line is I don't blame the developers for fixing the way they want galactic battles to be done. I think we all agree that it should be guild versus guild. Otherwise, just make it server versus server. We all agree that the fix needed to happen. We all sandbag. However, NYC and AXR were the most successful at it. And they made it all the way to the round of 4. And it is likely that players from GBD, ALD, and any other top guild, or just people that aren't in those guilds, complained that they knew that NYC was player swapping. And they weren't the only ones. I want to reiterate that because I feel like I don't want to be called a hypocrite like we all do it. I actually don't do it. Well, no, I never did it. But other people in my guild did. And it was fun because GBs are fun. That's why you play this game at the end game, 2 Galactic Battle. Okay, if I'm missing anything in chat, put it in chat. I am checking. And as far as the busted, ever since the patch, people have been having trouble logging in if they're using the Facebook portal. It's not everyone who uses the Facebook portal. It's just some people, and I've told the best fix is just uninstall the game and reinstall it, and that seems to be fixing it. So, this is what we wanted to see. Was NYC going to give us a replay? Because last week, NYC and NYC and GBD battled it out. Probably the best galactic battle we've ever seen. Certainly I've ever hosted. It was balls to the walls. GBD had 2 huge tier 11 Rogers. It was a fun galactic battle. The best 3 hours of Arc of War I've ever done on this channel. Check it out. But the next night, AXR was supposed to face off against ALD. NYC lost the battle the night before. Barely. I mean, don't get me wrong. They got crushed. GBD was putting out huge Rogerses. They didn't have an answer. Well, they were still one slot busting and beating the Rogerses out. They were able to clear the Rogers. Not as fast as they should have or not as fast as they wanted to. But they didn't have 2 of their main players. There was a player, oh God, was his name Godman or Godly Man? And AJ47 was it? I don't remember their names. I don't remember them offhand. Well, that's what happens to do it live. Sparkle Princess is napping in the living room. She may wake up later if I yell loud enough. Those 2 players were not able to join. And because of that, ALD leadership and NYC, or AXR leadership and NYC leadership decided to not participate in Thursday night games. Now, I don't know if they intentionally... I mean, I've heard from some players they intentionally didn't join, like out of spite to like make a protest. I've heard from players, one of the bosses said, just don't join. I've heard other players say no one wanted to risk getting zeroed. The bottom line is that Thursday night, we turned the live stream on. Over 100 people joined actually 300 people joined the stream, and probably 2,000 or 3,000 people joined the live game. And because AXR was a no-show to the match, there was never a replay. They gave ALD the win, and they robbed every player that wanted to donate to a replay 10 magazines. NYC is a very popular guild. NYC is one of the best guilds in the game, not because they're spenders, but because they legitimately have a very active player base. Everyone follows the rules. The best players are very tight with their points. They only do one slot bus, tier suppression marches. They take very few risks. They do take some risks, don't get me wrong, they're prone to mistakes. But when it comes to watching matches, NYC is the most frugal with points, and they're very difficult to beat, and they don't win on pure money. I've always enjoyed playing matches against them. I've always learned stuff going against them. They're the ones who knocked us out of the Galactic Battle this season. So, when NYC decided not to participate, or AXR decided not to participate, it was taking a stand to basically say, we got robbed, and everyone should know about it. Now, I don't know if they intentionally sent that message, but that's how I took the message. And I was pretty upset about it. As I should be. And other players are too. You can see Steven there in the chat. He's robbed. Robbed. I mean, yeah, they did rob us of it. But, you know what I mean? Like, they also got screwed by the devs. And because NYC is one of the most active guilds in the community, and because they give us such good games, and because they're not a complete pay-to-win guild, I kind of feel like we should support them in their protest. You know what I mean? Like, they definitely have a right to protest, right? We don't want to, like, ban them from anything. They definitely should say, if they don't want to participate, they don't have to. But if we don't want to like them anymore, we don't have to like them either. However, I've decided that it's fair to share both sides of the story. And the fact is last season, they made it to the round of 2. They battled against CHB and Vera. They did not get the win. Wait, that's the season before. This is last season. NYC versus CHB gave us a great... No, actually, last season fight wasn't very good. It started off with a sweet bullet. They lost the lead. Not great. This season, they were going all the way. Anyway, so basically, the argument was that, are they going to give us a replay tonight, or are they going to continue to protest? Well, now that we know that they are here, and they have given us a replay, they're giving us the magazines. I guess our voices are heard, or I guess they said what they wanted to say. Either way, thanks. They didn't have to do this. And it wasn't a crappy replay. We hate Ranger replays, don't we, guys? We hate Ranger replays. So, thanks for the replay. The question now is, what happens to NYC, right? Because tomorrow night, we're going to have a great battle. GBD and ALD is going to be a fantastic battle. It's going to be a huge battle. I can't wait to see it. But it doesn't change the fact that the most competitive and one of the most active guilds in the game got essentially robbed of having a fair match at the final. So, do they get a rematch? Do they get free loot? Do they get the equivalent of the second place prize just for the discrepancy? What is the right answer for the grievance? Nothing at all? Right? Ultimately, if the devs don't do anything, what are you going to do? You can quit playing. No one else will. Maybe. They do it enough. They piss off enough people. Maybe. Ultimately, it's as a community, I think it's something we should talk about and keep an open mind about. Because if it was your guild and you made a protest and everyone disregarded it as like bullshit, but you had a legitimate claim, it would be worth listening to. Because, I don't know. Maybe that's the American in me that just supports people's right to protest, whether I agree with it or not. You just have to let them. So, all right. Let me get to Pat's question. Patch should have taken place after the season. It was almost over anyway. I totally agree. The patch should have taken... Listen, they've already let NYC exploit the system, right? Listen, they give us a game to play. They put the rules in. They write the code. They enforce the rules. If you set up a battlefield in a tournament a certain way, then change it in the last 2 rounds with such a small window or no window at all for people to adjust their teams. That's messed up. I don't think the developers intentionally wanted to do that. because it's a mess. It's a mess for them because they have a huge player base angry at them. They have a guild angry, 2 guilds angry at them. I don't think they meant to hurt them, but they did. They hurt They hurt everyone. They robbed them of that match. So the developers are going to have to do something. Hopefully they make it right. I don't know how that comes about. Do they give them all a couple 100,000 gold? Do they give them all an extra spirit stone? I don't know. But you know, it is certainly the most dramatic thing that's ever happened in Ark of War since I've been playing. And you know, I hear a lot of funny things. I hear a lot of funny things people saying. I'm going to tell you right now, Ark of War, what they do is illegal. It's gambling. Can't do that in my country. I'm going to sue them. Yeah, well, guess what? Ark of War, 2 years later, still being sold in your country. If you don't like what they're doing, just ask for your money back and quit playing. That's all you have to do. Try that first. If they say no, and then you got a case. But as far as I know, anyone that complains, they can talk to support, get their money back. I mean, you paid for it, but I'm not going to get into that. Whatever. People have different views on it. I'm not here to represent my view. I'm here to talk about Ark of War. So for those of you just joining us, we just kind of recapped what's going on with AXR's and NYC's playoff debacle that ultimately caused us to not see a fair match. A completely fair match. NYC didn't have the full representation last week. And for all of you that says, it wouldn't have mattered. GBD would have beat them anyway. Don't worry, Melt. The developers may have messed up, but the right outcome happened. Let me tell you something. If you watched last week's broadcast, there was a point where NYC was 2 seconds away from clearing the first stronghold. And if they would have cleared it, we would be having a very different story. That match would have gone very differently. But, you know, I want to say, going back to all this, whether you agree with NYC not giving the magazines last week, it certainly got the point across. Tonight, they showed up, gave us the magazines. They're here. They're hanging out. I definitely think Raziel had something to do with it, Rizel. And I don't know why they're fighting. I think they're just having fun now. Because as far as I understood it, they had orders to not mess around in GB. But I don't know. Maybe something happened. Maybe the development team contacted them and they're going to make it right. So maybe people are in better spirits. I don't know. If anything develops on the story, I'll certainly make that information available to those that are interested in. Just hit me up online, or maybe I'll make a video if enough people let me know. But yeah, so instead of having a legendary battle for third, we are going to have just a group of guys hanging out, and we're going to tell that story, and we're going to revisit that story for anyone that shows up later on tonight that maybe missed the early part of this intro. So if you missed the first half of what I was talking about, don't worry, I'll cover it later. Because we're not going to see anything crazy tonight in the Galactic Battle, and I still want to keep the stream up, let's go ahead and let's head over to server 679, because there's a video coming soon. Actually, we'll get to server 679 and the video coming soon. Low-level PvP is like so fun on this game. Low-level PvP has so much action, so little risk. And I want to talk about the style of arcs that people have in this game, because a lot of people... I see you, Sugar Daddy. I see you, buddy. I see you, Craxy Bones. I'm sorry, guys. I've got like 3 stories I'm trying to cover all at the same time. You always think of those big boss players who just have like a massive army, and if they got zeroed, it would be devastating. And then you think of those other players who have been zeroed that literally only have like tier 1 and like maybe a handful of tier 7 with tier suppression gear, and they just clear tiles and they just get hit all the time because they always stay empty. And it feels like you're either a big boss that's always shielded who has a ton of expensive troops, or you're a guy that's been zeroed that still plays and is really active and clears tiles, but you don't really grow very fast because you're always empty. But there is a certain middle ground there of people that are kind of like playing the wrong role. You know, it's like, it's good to have a bunch of tier 3 and tier 5. It feels like, you know, it's the right thing to have, but you never use tier 3 to tier 6. You know, once you have tier 7, you never use tier 3 to tier 6. So we'll get into that later. Let's talk about ALD versus GBD real quick tomorrow night. We saw some big Rogerses show up last week with full tier 11 marches that were capable of getting strength and weaken down by just a simple bullet with tier 11, but that didn't happen. Remember, strength and weakened and high tier, tier suppression doesn't do crap against Bullet's Ghost Cannon. So if you counter their damage with Ghost Cannon. Now, granted, Roger still goes immune or whatever, but I think tomorrow night we're going to see the return of those Rogerses because they are the best defensive commanders, and GBD and ALD both have already committed to showing us that they will be throwing money at the final for the title because there's more than just the finals on the line. GBD and ALD's bosses allegedly are friends in real life, and they have members of their company play their accounts and are in their guilds, and I almost get the vibe that like ALD and GBD are like two guys that are friends that are on different servers that have like two rival companies, and they just have like this massive like in time and money investment into this game, and they've got their employees in on it. That's what it kind of feels like. That may be a total overstretch. There's 80 something people in each guild. I'm sure that's not totally accurate, but for the sake of storytelling, I kind of assume it's like that. Two rich friends, two best friends, they own competing businesses. They both have huge guilds and huge arcs on Arc of War. They're meeting up in the finals tomorrow. We know GBD is rolling heavy Rogers. And what do you need to counter huge Rogers that no one ever mains? Because there's never been a need. But if there was ever a need, it would be when you know your opponent has two max leadership Rogers with tier 11. It could happen, guys. I've been preaching this for like, I don't know, exactly. Lilith. It could finally happen, guys. We could see a full-blown Lilith main tomorrow night. I kind of feel like I shouldn't be talking about it because someone hinted to me today that they think that ALD is making a Lilith main just to counter those Rogerses. Well, first off, GBD has to start losing for them to even go on the offensive. So GBD has great, participation. So ALD might fall behind first, and we may never see those Rogers in the first place. So it could happen, guys. We could see a Lilith main tomorrow night in all her glory. I'll tell you right now, if a Lilith main went live, I don't know. You'd see a lot more Lilith in Ace of Galaxy next week. I'll tell you that right now. But you shouldn't. She's not very good. She's just good against Rogers. And specifically good against clearing Rogers. So, we'll see. To be fair, we've never seen a high-level Lilith versus a high-level Rogers. I've only simulated the battles in Tier 2. Woo! I'm excited. I don't know. I'm getting all hyped. That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. What the hell's going on here? Oh, I donated to the Galactic Battle, so I'm getting my rewards. Alright. Where's all my gear? I forgot to put my gear on. That's what happens. I've been busy. Alright, so let's get out of this arc. What is this? Oh, man. Have you guys been doing your mop-ups today? Gotta do those mop-ups. Let me see where I'm at. Let's see. Mop-up. 1,000 out of 2,000. Good God, that's a lot of mopping up. Oh yeah, dude. Strength and weaken Lilith versus those Rogerses. Not only would strength and weaken Lilith not take any. Well, those Rogers are using resistance weakened, so she's still going to take some damage, but she would be doing way more damage than a one-slot bust Stella would be. So I don't know. It's gonna be a crazy night if they go for it. If you guys didn't know, what you should know is that the Strengthened Weakened video has finally gone, not live, it has been exclusively leaked to the new Reddit community. Well, the Arc of War community on Reddit. So if you want to see the Strengthened Weakened video, the intro to Strengthened Weakened Guide 101, whatever you want to call it, is there. It's still private in the channel. You can't find it on YouTube. You have to take the special link there. Okay, let's switch over to... Is that enough about ALD and GBD? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what Bingo brings to the table. That's their boss. ALD's boss is Bingo. GBD's boss is 66 in Red October. Of course, there's more members of GBD and ALD worth mentioning, and I'll bring them up when the time comes. But for now, we'll go with that. So, Let's talk about our little side project. We'll do a little PvP, a little low-level action. Server 679. For those of you that watched the Merge Apocalypse video, this is what it was all about. Uh-oh, did I get zeroed? No. 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 What are you doing? Oh, jeez. What happened there? What happened here? How did this happen? Defense report. Did I garrison myself? Wow. Well, that guy just got destroyed. Happy to be of service, bird dog. Where was that at? Was that on a tile? What was that? Hey, new subscription. That's what happens when people subscribe. Doesn't happen very often. Thanks for the subscription. Welcome. All right, so what's going on? So tonight what we want to do. What do we want to do? Well, on server 679, here's the power layout. Number 1 power is HGD. Second is TTN. Third is FXE. Look how close their powers are. All 50 million. CCC has a 49.2 million. 4 super huge guilds, right? HGD, TTN, FXE, and CCC. Now, I know CCC and FXE are like mortal enemies from the last server. TTN and HGD I don't know too much about, but I do know that something really strange is happening on this server. Look at those capitals, baby. What's going on here? You've got Umuziland, controlled by TTN. Zentown, controlled by FXE. Area 17 in Oto, controlled by HGD. And the Tiberian King is the Titans right now. So, 3 guilds. 1, 2, 3 guilds. Own 7 capitals. Now, of course, my guild is fighting for... we're fighting for Area 17, but it looks like they stacked it up. All right, well... looks like we got to do some busting here. All right, so what we want to do is we need to take this capital. And if you're on this server, I don't care what alliances you have right now, do yourself a favor. Oh, and also I want to say they've agreed that Centicon is going to be traded once a week to each one of the 3 major guilds. CCC is a big guild, and they can fight. So one of these guilds is going to get wrecked sometime soon by CCC. Or maybe not. But one thing's for sure. This whole 3 guilds are going to own the capital thing is not the first time that's ever happened. Whenever there's a new merge, people like to get all the jitters out of the air and they go, oh, you know, we'll share the capital at first. We'll have alliances and let, you know, the dust settle before we get too serious. When the dust settles, whether it be a day from now or a week from now, but not more than a month, people start getting zeroed. People start getting angry. People start jumping around. People start spending a lot of gold just to go after the smaller players to punish the big players. That's going to happen. And when it does, you want to make sure that your guild is not the one that's late to the party. You want to make sure that you guys are on the offensive. And if people get mad, too bad. It's a war game. It keeps it interesting. You're supposed to lose troops and armies. Allies are supposed to get zeroed for not protecting themselves. Ah, but Melt... they lost all their troops and they've got all this time and money in the game. This is a war game. You build troops to die. If you think you're going to be the biggest, baddest ship that never loses troops and you're just going to dominate, just quit the game. You can't afford it. And the guys that do spend that kind of money lose their troops eventually. The guys like me or guys like you that follow this channel and know how to cheat the system or whatever. So it's just a nasty part of the game. But one thing's for sure. When it comes to killing other people, sooner or later in a war game, it's going to happen to you. So you may as well be the first one to do it. If you have a side project that makes like a peaceful Unity server, that's up to you. I don't recommend it. It's very boring. You start seeing less and less players log on. People are less interested. When people are like constantly getting their tiles attacked or constantly at war, you hear about someone getting zeroed once a week, that's when people are playing the most. So peace is bad. Peace is bad for business. War. War is good. I'm sorry to say it. Don't get me wrong. I felt bad the first time I got zeroed. I zeroed myself. I felt bad the first time I zeroed somebody. But That person became a friend of mine. One of the best friends I ever had in this game. That's the way it goes. It's a nasty game. You know it is. So, I don't know. I've zeroed like 5 people on this server now. This new server with just my baby rock. And no one's been complaining to me directly, but they've been complaining to my guildmates. Sorry. All this talking. Oh yeah, if you're on the same server as Albatross, you know Albatross gets into all kinds of trouble. He messes people up all the time. I think he dishes out more than he gets, but you know the cost of doing business is you don't always dish out the punishment. Sometimes you get the punishment dished out to you. So yes, Mike, I did repair. I always repair. I know I shouldn't, but I'm so used to always being full. It's hard to just think. It's a thing I do. Okay, let's see. Balls blazing. Yeah, dude, honestly, being shielded all the time kind of sucks. But when I started playing on this server, I realized, man, it's just a whole different world. Let's check world chat. Ooh, let's see. Juggalo got a hit in. Hello. Hey, if you guys are in 81A, if you guys want to share some replays in guild, we've got some pretty great replays. So what we've been doing, guys, is I've been taking weenies and just sending them right into like the clusters of guilds. I'll show you guys in a sec. Oh no. Oh no. Raptor! What have you done? Oh no. Oh, for those of you that don't know, 325 tier 9 infantry is the equivalent of 100 tier 10 Genesis, or tier 9 Genesis. Oh, wow. That didn't fit in his hospital. That was hard to watch. That's why I never roll high tier on Bullet. I never do it. Because he's not a great fighting commander. He's not a good toe-to-toe commander. I would only risk high tier like that if I absolutely knew that I was not going to get speed march and swap a rude. You know, because I would do a bait march like that to get someone to try to put high tier out, and then I'd send Bullet. Oh, man, that was savage. Raptor, no. That is a nasty repair bill. That's a game changer. Man, that's, ooh. Oh, Raptor, I'm sorry, bud. Gotta be careful. Where was that on? Was that on my ship? That better not have been on my ship. Oh my gosh, that was so sad. Look at all this. Look at all this. So this is the kind of action we've been having. I've been jumping around. I'm actually running out of warps and gold, so I got to be careful with what I get involved in. Let's see what it's going to take to crack this. First off, we send a weenie just to take away first strike. So what I'm doing there is by sending just a level 1 commander to attack, it takes away Jerry's first strike. So that means when it does come through, it's going to, I will get first strike. So if I want to use rock for ignore tier suppression, I'll be able to have the first strike. So I don't, even if I'm lower level, I'll get first strike. Otherwise, he might just one-shot me, and then it was a total waste. I'm using low tier, of course. So that's how I'm able to do it. I never pop a shield. I just hide all my armies in reinforcements and rallies. And so whenever I log back on, even if I've been hit 1,000 times, I don't have any resources, and I don't have any troops on my ship, so I'm good. I don't get warped. It doesn't suck my troops back to me, because you can only get Arc Hull durability damage if they kill troops or take resources. Now, don't get me wrong. You are always producing resources here. So if they continue to hit you over and over and over, they will continue to take resources. And given enough time, they could eventually break your hull. But that amount of time, if they're not massacring troops, is like days. So pretty safe. If you, ooh, someone's scouting me. Oh boy. Yeah. See, the main problem with this is that people can be watching the stream, and if they're watching the stream, they know how to find me, which is no big deal. I'm empty. Look at that. Are you at 59 million? 59 million. Look at this. hiding away in his baby arc. See him there? He's got 59 million power on his Leviathan arc. Think he sees that coming? Let's just see what happened. Oh, he was ready for it. Okay, well, that's what happens. So what I did there was seeing if I can catch him off guard. And I just jumped right on him. And I got to be careful because he's probably watching the stream. There we go. Oh, we got a nasty repair bill in front of us. All right, let's see what happened here. So this is what he had garrisoned. Oh. Oh, I lost all that stuff, huh? Shoot. I didn't even get an attack. Man, he's lucky that Bloodthirst got through, or he had an awakening, because I could have broke through to his ship. That would have been awesome. Got to be careful with what I send next time. That was a lot of masters. That's all right. I kind of didn't want those, to be honest. I was kind of tired of healing them. As much as they were nice for plasma, I don't need that many. Tier 5 is just so expensive to heal that it's like I already had it, so I wasn't going to get rid of it. But I certainly don't mind losing it forever, because I'm not going to be using it to kill monsters anymore. So, you know, no big deal. All right. So here's what we do. We switch over to the baby commanders. Let's do this. So what we want to do is get low-level commanders, and we want to start flipping ships. We want to get into Centicon and start flipping boats. Man, we're so far away, though. Oh, we're not close now. Chris, I was messing with your guild all night. Oh, this is the guild I like to mess with. This one over here. Let's see. Flare for... Lilith is good. Anyone else that's better? So I'm going to jump out of this here in a second, guys, and go back to doing what we were doing. There we go. Got some bigger commanders. They can carry more. And we'll put that on him there. That on him here. And what do you have? What do you have? How about that? Okay, so everyone's got gear. Alright, so what we're going to do is confirm our gold expense, and we're going to go put Rock back to work. We want to make sure we don't accidentally lose all of our troops. Ah, careful. There we go. Alright, there's that. So for those of you that don't know, you can hide a lot of your troops. Just like that. That's not all of them, but that'll get the ball rolling. Now, what we can do is we've got our marching speed on. And we've got our basic buffs. And what we're going to do is we're just going to send all of our troops into Centicon. And we're going to flip some ships out. And we'll come back and check on who we actually hit. And if it's anyone worth hitting, we might track them down and try to zero them. So Sebulba's here. He's got 0 troop power. So that's how you can tell. You click on information. Click on the question mark. You see soldier power. That means they're zeroed. They may have a ton of rangers on them because rangers give you 0 points. And I'm not really interested in zeroing rangers. But I would like to flip his ship out of there just to get attention. Because I think as much as it's annoying to constantly like attack people's ships in this game and constantly bug them, it's also kind of like a, I don't know, I would say it's like an entertainment thing. It's fun to interact with people. And I'm not really doing any serious damage. I mean, I certainly can. But I'm going to have to change this march real quick. I don't want to send all that tier 2. I'll keep having to repair too much tier 2. But it's certainly a lot of fun. You know, a lot of people that are on this server will admit that even though I've been pestering the crap out of them, they really enjoyed, you know, defending and you know, fighting me off. Because I'm not really losing anything. I'm having fun. And they haven't really lost too much. A couple people got zeroed, but I make that sound really light. But I mean, like, listen, if you're in a guild and your guild is incapable of protecting you from a level 16 ship, or you're incapable of protecting your allies, then you need to talk to your people and decide if you need to dump some players or do some training. But ultimately, you know, you got to get stronger. You got to get better. Your guild's got to get better. Otherwise, you are not going to make it in this game. Certainly not going to make it. Where's Sap at? I must have scared the crap out of him. Oh, I got replays. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, let me see. Let me reset my troops here so I don't lose anything too major. And I'll watch those replays, and then we'll jump back into the Galactic Battle and see what NYC and AXR are up to. And then we'll fill in everybody that doesn't know about what's been going on. We'll fill them in. Okay, so that's going there. Oh, what's our timer at? POC 2 minutes. No, that's too soon. All right. We'll have to wait a few more minutes, guys. Let's take a look at our replays. Raptor versus NIT. What do we got here? Ooh. So this must have been before the devastation. That's a lot of tier 6 to lose. Tier 6 was that troop that was like the best until tier 7, obviously. But it's so bad now that you should really just avoid tier 6. It's fun to get a couple of them just because I think they look really cool. Oh man, here's that savage beat. Oh. Ouch. Yeah, I got scouted Hell's Gate, but I don't have anything on me. Oh. I mean, I have stuff on me, but nothing I can't rebuild in 10 seconds. Let's see Jerry's battle. I like this is a good fight. So Raptor cleared Area 17 with his hoodoo. Just tier 9. Little hoodoo action. Here comes a chain blast. Boom, boom. Look at the explosions. They're hitting for 56. Two tier 2 each. And then there's the death rattles. The death rattles are weak because there's only one unit, of course. But pop. Hey, I want to talk about Chief. I was rewatching my original video. Do you guys ever see that? I've got this video. It's called Gollum. Gollum. It's called Gollum. It's called Golem versus Chief. And the point of the video was to like shut people up about Golem's crush versus Chief's rampage, because Chief's rampage hits twice as hard in verbiage or whatever. Says it hits twice as hard, but it actually doesn't, because it says bonus to damage, where Golem's is bonus to attack, which is a different modifier. They sound very similar, but they are not. Anyway, I did a video on it, and I did the math wrong. I think I did the math differently, and it sounds wrong. Yeah, but Chief is still pretty darn good. Certainly not as good. Golem does hit about 30 or 40% harder with his crush, but still good enough that Chief should be considered a main staple for a one-slot bust Walker Commander, and he's up there with Moon Booty. And then just for that class, you know, because Galileo and Hoodoo and Pictor are definitely in a different class of walkers, and then Elf is her own class. But if you were a leader, would you kick a loyal member out of your guild just to keep an alliance with another guild? Obviously, that takes more to that story, right? If you are going to, if you're going to keep an alliance healthy, the most important thing is to establish the rules correctly before you agree to the alliance. So, for example, if your leaders, if you and the other guy says, yeah, we want to set up an alliance, and here's the deal. No hitting each other's tiles throughout the week, but arcs are fair game, including speed marching. If you want to rob our alliance's other arcs because they're not protecting them, it's better that we rob each other than get robbed by the enemies. But don't zero the allies. In other words, hit them once and walk away. And then you say, okay, well, maybe we should have them scout. Well, yeah, but, you know, if you scout, the person's just going to shield as soon as they can. If the enemy's going to hit them, the enemy's just going to hit them full force. So you may as well hit them full force instead. Then you go, okay, well, do your best to scout or ask the person. Try to be friendly about it. Ultimately, we want to combine our guilds one day, but they're too big. That's that. I guess that should be the mindset. Is like, remember, like, we're not trying to win off each other. We're not trying to feed off each other. We're trying to get big together. So one day we can, you know, combine our guilds, but right now there's not enough room. So you say, okay, well, what if someone gets zeroed because, you know, someone sends like 100k commander at them and just wipes out their meat shield? You say, well, if it's an accident, it's an accident. But it's like, yeah, but that person's going to be really pissed off. And maybe one of his buddies is an officer, and the other guy's like, hey, man, that's, you know, we may have an alliance, but that was uncalled for. It's like, guys, you just have to stick to the rules. And the rules say that if you get hit one time and it zeroes you, you need to build a bigger meat shield or you need to stay shielded. And if one player farms a person more than twice in a day, you really want to get too technical with it. I mean, it's alliances are hard to keep. So it's really it's kind of a thing. It's like you have to realize that a lot of people in this guild or in this game are hardcore PvPers, right? And the type of people that this game attracts are not necessarily the most cordial and diplomatic types, especially the ones that get into altercations. So, like I always say, peace is bad for business. Try to agree that no one kills each other's tiles. If someone marches on another person's tile and they kill their tile and it's an accident or it's not an accident, have them deal with it amongst themselves. Leaders and managers, officers, they don't want to log in and deal with that shit, right? You log in to play the game, now you got someone complaining like, oh, so-and-so hit my level 12 food tile. Oh, he hit someone in my alt guild. Dude, if it's tiles, don't bother the officers. Deal with it yourself. Seriously, people will quit the game if you start letting them. People will take on way too much responsibility because it's nice to be recognized. It's nice to be appreciated, but that can fizzle out real quick. So, tile disputes are dealt with by the players. They're allowed to hit each other's arcs, but don't zero each other. If it gets out of hand, guild leaders should not get involved and hit the other members of the alliance in retribution. If the alliance feels like they are taking advantage of you and not being fair, then guess what? It's not actually an alliance. It's a parasitic relationship where they're basically using you so that you can't attack them, but they can attack you. And you got to recognize that. But you can also do things like, hey, we're going to say open warfare for 2 weeks, and then we'll resume the ceasefire in 2 weeks from now, so people get all the aggression out of them, and they decide that, like, okay, yeah, I'd rather have peace than all this petty bullshit, because 2 or 3 people could drag you into a 3-month war. But like I say, war is good. War is good, so be careful with what you ask for, you know. I've been through peaceful servers. I've been through war-torn servers. My peaceful server got so boring that all these players quit. We got merged onto a war server. A lot of those players quit because they weren't ready for a war server, and then now it's been war-torn for so long, people just stay shielded and don't log on anymore. So it's complicated business, man. Complicated business. Yeah. Here's what I'll say. So I haven't done like a server politics video, but here's what I've found to be the best. Tiling should always be off limits. Don't hit people's tiles. But if it's an enriched tile, free game. If you want to play the enriched tile game, you want to be that guy and have an enriched tile, it's free game. Anyone can hit it anytime. Alliance doesn't matter. Enriched tiles are always fair game. They're fun for PvP. People just might want to log in and attack enriched tiles because it's fair game. Part of the alliance, whatever. Other tiles, though, leave them alone. If it's a 12 box and your server's struggling for 12 boxes, make 12 boxes, you know, fair game. Okay, fine. The shadow matter becomes less useful. As people are hitting Arc Hall 15, 16, shadow matter becomes very scarce. As people hit 21, shadow matter becomes very common again. I have like thousands of shadow matter I'll never use. Yeah, alright, we'll go to, okay. I'll finish up my talk about guild server rules Not saying that they're even the best. They're just the ones that have worked. And here's my experience of it is never hit tiles. It's never worth it. If you get into a serious war with somebody because they've zeroed a few of your players and they just like, you know what, punish these guys, punish all of them, then yeah, it's fun to like kill all the tiles and stuff. But it's hard to farm, and I don't know. After this last second anniversary gift, people have so many resources in those resource packs or whatever. And honestly, like 5 days worth of farming isn't worth crap compared to the 500 million they gave us all. So it's kind of a weird time for the game as well. You know, as events come around, it changes the need for, you know, it changes people's outtakes on the game. You know, like if there's a few events that go by and they don't give us any resources, people start running light on resources. You start noticing all of the arcs that are in around Centicon start getting farmed for just petty resources. I mean, you know the server's starting to get lean. But I don't know. So it's always good to have a rival guild. Zeroing is a problem that it costs gold, it costs time, it takes effort to zero somebody. It really does. And it's funny to like post it in line chat of like someone getting zeroed and like just a nasty massacre kill. It's a weird thing about this game that draws people to spend and like get bigger. But at the same time, it's one of the sad parts of the game because it can cause people to quit. But it's like you need to realize that getting zeroed is part of the game as well. So I would say don't shy away too much from zeroing. Definitely, it's good to be around, you know, someone that got zero just so you guys can experience it and decide if you want to be a part of that. I say go for it. I say zero people. I don't always say zero people, but I've been having a pretty spiteful server lately, and unfortunately, the times you zero somebody does turn out to be some of the funnest times in the game. So take it or leave it. You know, it's okay to be the bad guy. This is a war game. All right, let's jump into the Galactic Battle and see what our boys are up to. We'll jump onto the main account here. Oh, 1 second, got to switch. How about there? Now is my mic on? Is it 2 mics? Let's not do that. Let's probably mute. There we go. Okay. Jumping into the Galactic Battle. And it looks like some points have been thrown around. Are we getting a battle for third? Look at that! 9,600 tier 5. What have we been missing? What is going on? 9,600 tier 5? Male God. I think that's male God. Ah, it's so hard to say. They have all the spades in their names. 9,600. Anyone, quick. What is that in leadership? 9605 times. Is it... How many is a death? Is it 50? I think it's 50. 480,000? God. Those things are so expensive. I can't believe he would build that many. That's insane. That's insane because you can tier suppression that. Tier 5 can easily be tier suppressioned. What are you doing? How do you... Moderators! Thank you. Duff is on it. My man. Alright, so it looks like AXR has decided to go for it. What's going on in here? Are we getting a battle? Are we getting a battle here? Look at this. Alright, let's throw some replays. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, here's the first replay. Anyone from NYC that is in the stream right now, do you guys have anyone elected to receive medals that I should recommend? So that way they can get whatever avatars they want. So people that already have the avatars don't need them, so they don't need medals. I can't believe Godlike or Male God has that many deaths. That is absurd. 9,600 tier 5 airships. That's ridiculous. Why would you ever build that many airships? That's... Oh. Sometimes people in endless ace event will buy a bunch of tier 5 to like get past a strengthened weakened counterpart to their main. But after like endless 102 or 120 or something, it's not viable anymore because of tier suppression, because they all have tier 10. So that doesn't make sense. It's a lot, right? 9600 tier 5 is a substantial amount. That's crazy. Who's Bison? Bison's yelling at me. Char-Char's all inning? What are you doing, Char-Char? Where's Char-Char at? What do you mean all in? Is he going to throw his whole main? Let's see if he throws his main. Woo! Look at AJ47's Vega. I like Vega, man. I got to do a video on Vega. He's such a great commander, and he doesn't get the limelight he deserves. Vega has a sick heal. You guys like Elf's heal? Vega has the same one. It's only 20% though. Oh, build 20,000 tier 5 units. That's what it's from. Oh my god, people actually build tier 5 units for that mobilization event? Oh man, I think it's time. I made a mobilization event, 2 of them, and our guild was doing so well in mobilization. I shared it with them and all the tips and tricks. I even made a PowerPoint. I was like, we should probably not share this right away. And I just kind of forgot about it because I assumed I'd seen everyone talk about all the tricks in blind chat. So I was like, nah, everyone knows all the tricks. But building 2,000 tier 5 airships, I guess if you're going for the Geist Stone and that quest comes up and it has a really high reward point for it, it might be worth doing. Yeah, Duff, that's probably what it is. If they just got to, because you know you get a random amount of points. Ooh, Char-Char. Oh, hello, Char-Char sending a huge Stella. Oh God, that's what he was talking about. What's that? 220,000 Stella? Yeah, 220,000. Is it more than that? No, 220,000. All right, Char-Char, let's see your replay. Let's see it. Yeah, so it's not about the fact that it's affordable to do the mobilization event 2,000 build tier 5. It's the fact that when it comes along and you're trying to score the highest amount of points possible, whatever quest they give you, if it's the highest points possible to get the Geist Stone, you do it. But dude, the problem I have with the Geist Stones is, I'll watch that again, sorry Char-Char, is that they're so expensive and it takes so much time. It's like literally you have to play all day for both days. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, here we go. Oh, it's just one. What was I thinking? I wasn't even watching. Okay, I need to check my microphone settings. Main, mixer, video capture device, desktop audio, microphone, USB. That's pretty good. Hey, we're going to do a mic check, guys, because I was listening to the stream the other night and it didn't sound right. Alright, so you guys have heard the sound quality on this so far. I'm going to switch over to the next microphone and tell. Alright, we are on microphone 2. I'm expecting it to be a little more thin, a little more hollow. So I'll let this go for a minute, and then you guys can tell me if it's messed up. I think it has something to do with the emulator I run, too. So, damn. You know, healing tier 7 is less efficient than healing tier 9 and 10, so it's a pain in the butt to heal tier 7. Not recommended. And did I miss that? Oh, is that better? Or is this one better? Okay, so it's bad. Okay. All right. I don't know how many times I'm going to make you guys do that. Tinny. Reverse slide. That's the word I've been looking for like a week. tinny. It sounds like you're talking through a tin jar. All right, but even this microphone, I don't find it to be very good. I was thinking about getting a better one, but for what? You know, we're not broadcasting on TV or anything. I don't have like a sexy voice or anything, so nothing too spectacular. I should probably turn the game sound up, though. Let me know if the game sound is too loud. All right. NYC and AXR are giving us all these battles and replays. Oh, there's that 9600 Tier 5 death. Oh, man. Also known as a can. Oh, look at that. 9600 Tier 5 airships. That's so goofy looking. I'm sorry. I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to seeing so many other troops with large numbers, or so few of troops with that many numbers. It just looks weird to see that. All right. Well, the thing about this microphone is, it's like right under the monitor, so it echoes off these plastic panels, and I think that causes weird sound issues. Can't even hear the game. Well, I wanted some sound. Oh well. All right, so the losers match. Ooh, look at that golem. That's a big golem. $900,000? 900,000 leadership? Almost full. Okay, let's see. There's the webcam, microphone, check, desktop audio. Oh, it's because I had it muted, dummy. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to talk about? All right. For those of you just joining us that missed the story about NYC and AXR and the patch from last week, I'm going to do a quick rundown. Chat, help me out if I miss anything. Here we go. The Sunday before last, the developers announced a patch that was going to limit it so that guilds can only join. So that players can only join the Galactic Battle if they've been in the guild for at least 3 days. They announced the patch on a Sunday night. It went live on a Monday. And the semifinals started on Wednesday. So anyone that was unaware of the patch Sunday night didn't have enough time to switch guilds into the appropriate guild for Wednesday night's game, which led to 2 players, including AXR's Godlike and AJ47, from not being allowed to participate in the NYC battle. The AXR battle was the following night with ALD. NYC could have all switched to that guild, but either way, short notice, didn't have enough time. Ultimately, GBD and NYC battled a legendary fight last week. NYC did end up losing to the most aggressive double Rogers play from GBD we've ever seen. And at one point, they were 2 seconds away from clearing the garrison to reset the timer, which would have dramatically lowered GBD's morale. Could have even changed the game. But that didn't happen. And NYC was upset about it. AXR was upset about it. And the next night, when AXR played against ALD, they were a no-show. The community showed up to watch. Members of the game watched. Probably around 2,500 or so people joined that match and didn't get to see a single replay, robbing them of 10 magazines and making a protest, if you will, that the developers implemented a patch that directly punished AXR and NYC that led to them losing, which is why we're in tonight's match. Since then, a lot of the story has developed so that we better understand it now, and as a player base, it's come to the agreement of some of us, but not all of us, that we should support them, because if it happened to us, the only way to tell the players and to get justice is to make the players unite and let the developers know we are not happy. That whether they intentionally or accidentally screwed over NYC in the semifinals, either way, it did have a profound effect on their chances. And being that NYC is the most, I would say, the most strategic and organized guild in the top 8, for sure. They made it to the round of 2 last time. They were certainly capable of going to the finals this time, and certainly capable of winning. They have the highest participation, the most greedy play style. They're incredibly good. And they didn't get a chance to do it because of maybe there was a window that they could have had a chance. Ultimately, the developers shouldn't have patched it in the semifinals. So something's got to happen. Does NYC deserve a rematch? No, they're not going to mess up the timetable to give NYC a rematch. Do they deserve the rewards? No, they didn't earn the rewards yet, right? You got to win the finals. What about GBD and ALD? They're about to battle it out. Don't they deserve the rewards? So the developers have to do something. A simple "I'm sorry" it's a start, but I don't know. We'll be following this story to see what the developers decide to do. Obviously, it's not going to be anything too ridiculous. At least, like, give them the second place prize. I told NYC that they should probably contact the developers directly and tell them what they want for compensation. Even if the developers say, we're not giving you shit and we're banning half your accounts, you got to at least tell them what you want so you start a negotiation. Give them a price. Because if you let them dictate the price, you're going to get a month pack of gold for everyone. Here's a $20 pack. Here you go. No, I mean, that's what I would do. I would open the negotiation with what you want and then start there. So, and try not to blame the development team, right? They didn't maliciously want to do it, right? They didn't maliciously want to screw anyone. That wasn't their goal, but man, the timing was really bad. And NYC caught some flack for it, right? People had some words to say. Hip Hoppity posted some controversial things that I think a lot of people were thinking. Certainly I had a few people messaging me, and some of the people in the stream kind of agreed that they could have just shared the replay and they still would have got the message along. They maybe would have had more people supporting them, but I get it, man. They made a protest. Here we are. And what happens now is the developers decide if they want to do anything, and if they do anything, what that anything is going to be. So when I find out, we will report it. And next season, Season 5, we will talk about this sudden rule change that affected the outcome of Season 4. And going into tomorrow night's match, I didn't know how to frame it, right? Because, like, GBD and ALD are fighting in the finals for the first time. Is it the first time? Let's double check that. I gotta double check that. It certainly weren't in the finals last season. That was CHB and NYC. Let's go to history, championships. Season 3 was CHB and NYC. Okay. Season 2 was WoW and CHB. And Season 1 was WoW and Dream. It was all a dream. Back when Sabet was still around, who's now known as Woody. Different account holder, we hear. I'm sorry, Duff. I know. I have to talk about this all the time. Well, if you didn't watch all my videos and be in all the social groups I'm in and hang out on all the live streams, you wouldn't have to hear the story so much. Some people might be hearing this for the first time. Not the last time, but the first time. Okay, so CHB and ALD are going... ALD and GBD... God, these guild names, right? I mean, Jesus. At least NYC is easy to remember, you know? Like Lichy Lung, I like that. Like it, looks good. Anyway, so GBD and ALD are going to be squaring off. I told you guys earlier that what we understand about them is apparently the bosses of the guilds are two wealthy businessmen from a similar industry in China that are rivals, and they have kind of like, this is their company's like fun thing they do, kind of like their hobby, their corporate hobby. Now, granted, there's 80 people in the guild. I'm sure not all 80 are even employees. Maybe 2 or 3 are, but that's how it kind of was framed to us, that these guys are somehow similar industries, rival companies, and this is going to be like a battle for who has the better team, the better game, the better guild. And tomorrow night should be insane. Money is no object. Hundreds of thousands of gold will be thrown around. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun to cast. I would have liked to have seen a more strategic and tightly played game like NYC does, or my guild does, or whatever. But I think what we're going to have is just madness. So, oh, how do I'm going to change this over to that. Sorry, guys. Audio, image, oh, let's change this, sorry. Transform, filters, properties, there we go. I'm becoming a pro at this stuff. All right, so this is, oh, and I got to add a mic on the other one. Let's see. All right, mic check 1, 2. Is this working? Audio input capture. I think that's working. Maybe not. Huh. Media source. Desktop audio. It is working. Okay. Auditory. Okay. So that's the thing. And I don't know. I had these ideas that this is tomorrow night's game, by the way, guys. For tomorrow night's game, it's ALD versus GBD for the season 4 finals. And in a lot of these promos, I describe or I build up. Oh, this is gonna sound so lame. Here, let's do it like this. I like the picture to be a metaphor, and I like the slogan to be, oh God, like a remembrance or like some kind of lasting effect. Like all the promos have some kind of saying in them that kind of sticks, you know? Like, here, like this one, for example. Here, let's see this one here. Oh boy. Oh, got to download it. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Anyway, so this one, I decided for the finals, I just couldn't come up with the right phrase, but I found the right image, right? Like if you look at the image, it's like, it's a crown, right? But it's not like a muddied crown. It's not a destroyed crown. It's just like, this finals is tainted. NYC got robbed of a fair shot at the finals. So GBD and ALD are going to win the crown, but it's like, I wouldn't say it's undisputed, right? Like when you say like undisputed champion of the world, like it is disputed. There was a controversy. So I thought like all these words that might resonate correctly. And I was like, you know what? Just how about a tarnished crown in the sand? Obviously, like it's been tossed to the wayside, but it still has a value. Casting crowns. I mean, it's and then to find the proper Chinese translation, I had 3 people try to offer me translation. They all came back that tarnished crown didn't have a proper translation without calling someone a cheater or a liar. So thank you, Stephen. Some of my best work that I stole from somebody else and put my own text on it. I blame the artists. Why do you guys make such great stuff and not put a stamp on it? I would happily display your stamp. I'd love to get more art from these people. I just Google images my stuff. Oh well. Anyway, that's tomorrow night's image. I like it. I think it works. We're done with that. Alright, let's jump back into NYC and AXR. See if we got any other fun replays to look at. Show us something interesting, boys. What do you guys got working on? Someone from NYC, throw up a good Rocket replay. Rocket with tier 1 energy armor versus a high tier army. Show us Rocket's ignore tier suppression skill. And I'll talk about Rocket. Rocket is a lot of fun, boys and girls. Rocket's a lot of fun because I'm going to give away my secrets. Rocket's a lot of fun because if you're a low-level player and you're going against your the boss on your server's Stella, and they have tier 10 or tier 11 infantry, and they're stacking dodge, even with full research and full gemmed gear and good rotation or good roll gear, landing a ghost cannon or an annihilator ray on a full dodge tier 11 when you're only using tier 1 to get advantage of ignore tier suppression skills like rock and bullet, it's impossible. It's impossible. I know this because of my account on 679. I've run into some problems. But you know who doesn't have that problem? Rocket. Because Rocket's energy armor doesn't require accuracy. It's a 20% buff. Her troop, tier 1 airships, will buff themselves. And if they get hit, they damage the opponent. They don't even have to lose all their troops. They just have to get hit. But it's only a 20% skill. But you don't need any gear at all. And you don't need to be a really high level. In fact, it's almost better to stay at level 10 and just release commanders, get a ton of leadership into her, and then have a tiny little baby arc with a commander that basically heals instantly because you don't level them up to 39 and 54 and all that. They just stay at level 29, and you just fill her up with tier 1, and you just send her wherever you want. And if anyone ever kills you, you have a 20% chance to absolutely obliterate them. The rocket playstyle, man, it's a 20% dice roll, 1 in 5 chance, but it doesn't require any gear, it doesn't require a high level arc. It could be absolute devastation where your opponent can counter you by sending low tier, of course, but your allies can garrison you because, you know, if they send tier 2 at you, they'll destroy you, and yeah, you might kill some of their tier 2, but no one cares. But if they send tier 11 at you, it's a high risk for them. Yeah, when Rocket back in the day had 40% energy armor, she was better than Rock and Bullet for sure. She had the same exact skill, but she didn't have to land a hit. Oh, crazy. Rocket used to be so good. So someone give me a good Rocket replay. I haven't taken the time to do it. It's so hard to get replays on my server because everyone is shielded all the time. I don't have a video on Rocket yet. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get one, but I don't know, man. There's so many projects. You guys... So many projects. I'm not complaining. Look at that replay. What are you guys doing? NYC versus AXR, man. They are throwing points around. They are throwing some serious points around. They're having fun. I hope... You know, there was an argument that was made by... Sparkle Princess chimed in and she said, so what you're saying is that the guild leaders... Oh, I can't talk like that for long. Is that the guild leaders wouldn't let the players join the galactic battle even though they wanted to. Like, why are you punishing all the players? Like, okay, if you're doing it for a protest, that's one thing. But for tonight, you know, your voice has been heard. It's nice to see that all the players are coming out with their tier 7. Because not everyone is spending money and having tier 9. So it's nice to see the smaller guys go out there and battle it out and use their troops. Because if you guys are watching this stream, you all know you don't get to fight with your main army very often. Once or twice a month. Once or twice and then never again. In the galactic battle, every once in a while, you get to throw down. So it's nice when you get a chance. Because months can go by when you don't get to use your main. I built a massive army on my bullet. Never got to use it. I use it in Endless. Ace. But not in real fights. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is a weird game. Why do we play this game? This game is so stupid. Because it's so interesting. And it's never ending. And there's so much to do. Okay. We got to do something about this hat situation. It's not staying on my head. Alright. What are we doing? Should we jump back on to server 679 and see what these guys are up to? Right? The game's always changing. The game has changed so much. We're talking about it right now. Lilith and Rocket. You're going to start seeing a lot of Lilith and Rocket next season. We should start seeing a lot of it. I don't know if we will. Alright, so no one zeroed me while I was gone. That's nice. Or it might have been empty. I'm not sure. Marching towards my arc? What are you doing? Annie. HGD, man. They always have their fort garrisoned. Every time I check, every hour, they've got their fort garrisoned. They can't garrison it forever, though. I'll get there eventually. I remember back in the day, people would just set like a macro to reinforce the fort every 2 hours or whatever. And that was back in the day when there wasn't ignore tier suppression commanders or tier suppression itself or strength and weakened or all those cool things. Now people can't do that anymore. It's just so risky because there's a way to counter everything. What is this? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Alright, let's take a look at Area 17. Oh, we're still fighting for it. Man, I know. I know for sure. Hitting that tier 5 is not going to be easy. Is that 50 units? Good lord. Alright, so this guy that's sending on us, we gotta crush him. Alright. He's only sending tier 1, hopefully. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled the old switcheroo on me. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Is it that one? Oh, don't want that one. Let's see. Alright. I'll give him his own gear there. There we go. Hey. Put that on. Flare, flare, flare. There we go. Let's see. Ah. What happened? Did I lose all my tier 5? I think I did. Oh, that's too bad. I wanted at least some. Yep. Well, zeroed off all my tier 5. That's fine. We only need 3 of them. Okay. Andromeda reference. Did I miss the reference? Oh, God. Oh, God. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to make a move on that capital. We are certainly going to make a move on that capital. But, in order to do so, is that what it is? High Guard is the name of an Andromeda reference? Yeah, Steven, if they added a number we can add in, that might be really helpful. So whatever I send is going to get absolutely wrecked, but I really want to wreck that guy's tier 5. Yes, I do. And in the meantime, let's see if we can flip somebody out of Centicon. No. And, you know, everyone's been shielding up lately. It wasn't like this. You know, HGD's always got a garrison on. I don't know what the deal is with HGD. I don't know why people haven't just... I mean, when I say people, I mean like FXE and TTN and whoever the other guild is. I think that's it. CCC. Why haven't they just demolished that fort? I mean, come on. That would just be fun to park your arc right in front of it and just go for it. Figure out a way, you know? That Sebulba guy, he's always there. He's always there unshielded. Here, let's see if we can pop him. There is a fort level 3 here, yeah. Alright, let's see if we can't wreck this guy's Stella. How great would it be if we got through and got to hit that Rogers? See, the thing about Rogers is if I got lucky enough somehow to actually kill that Stella, which I probably won't, let me think about that. Could I? Let me see. No, that's like 22,000. No, I won't kill that Stella. But if I did, that Rogers would have first strike for his first defense in the fort, but Tyrant Cometh could trigger 20%, and then he wouldn't attack me. So then I would actually get to attack him, and he may have a defensive stack on him, but I would still be able to at least, you know, do some damage with Annihilator Ray. For those of you that don't know, bullet and rock have 40% skills that ignore strength and weaken effect and ignore tier suppression. And with just tier 1, you can hit just as hard as tier 11. It's based off the troop's base HP. It has nothing to do with gear. The only thing that helps it is accuracy, the amount of troops you have sent, and what level the skill is. The higher the level, the harder it hits. So that's what we're using here to punish players of all sorts and sizes. Still a lot of people fighting with tier 2 on this server, which surprises me because it's so easy just to use, one slot or one unit per slot kind of tier suppression marches. But yeah, I haven't looked around. I saw one fort burning. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh! Get wrecked. Destroyed. That's what you get for sending that many rangers at me. What are you thinking? Rest in peace, masters. They serve their purpose, though. That's all we had to do. Just absorb the front row. And he's an A class, so he never got to awakening past them. So the only damage he does is his plasma bombs. Oh, no! He actually did kill me. He killed the front one. 28-43. Yeah, I lost a lot of troops there. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But we didn't overflow. No point in paying full price for those. Alright. Area 17, 5 minutes out. Alright, we'll check back on that in a while and see if we get lucky and land an Annihilator Ray on those tier 5 on that Stella. And NYC AXR continues at 65 million. Woo! AXR's got a huge lead. Male God. What a name. What a name. There's Runt. Yeah, I got my marching speed on. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. The male god is there. That's a funny name. Alright, does anyone know offhand what are the NYC and AXR bosses? We got AJ-47, Male God. Wish I could, let's see. Male God. Oh, oh God. I don't know how to draw Hanzi, are you kidding me? Jeez. What am I doing? I don't know. I'm like writing down this name as if like I'm going to be able to recognize it someday. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Dodge is a big meta early game, Up until 10 or 12 million power, you'll go... you'll really rely on dodge, but once people start using Chief and Golem and all the guaranteed hit commanders, dodge falls to the wayside. No, I don't speak any dialect of Chinese. I don't even recognize most Chinese characters, but if it's 2 letters, I can remember most people's names that have 2 letters in them. If I make an attempt, And even then, I probably couldn't draw them out if you asked me to. I just recognize them. I don't know how I do it. I don't know. Nothing special, I'll tell you that. Lunch tables. Yo, 66. That's the easiest one to remember. It's lunch tables. I don't know why lunch tables. I have no affinity for lunch tables. I don't know. Alright, what else we got? Are we picking anyone to get medals? Alright, let's take a look. What's going on here? Sebulba. Man, I've been attacking this guy all day. For like 4 or 5 days. I could break through that. I kind of want to as well. Alright, how's Area 17 looking? Alright, not much there. Still another minute or two. So, alright, where are we at with this whole galactic battle situation. 65 million to 18 million. AXR still has the lead. 44 spectators. We got more watching the live stream than in here. So, yeah. So we'll hang out in here for a while, answer some questions, we'll check some replays. I'm going to try not to stay up too late tonight. I appreciate you East Coasters staying up all late. I know it's probably, what, 1 in the morning right now, Duff? Oof. Oh. Is the mother-in-law still staying with you? Woo. East Coast had a storm that stuck a mother-in-law with a married couple. Don't want to do that. Not fun. So the Chinese characters in this character's name and my main are the same. And they simply read out melting in Chinese. And I put them there so that I can join multicultural guilds and they know how to talk to me. Otherwise, if you don't put Chinese characters, you treat them basically how they treat you. They can't pronounce your name. You know, they might try to interact with you and stuff, but they don't read English. They read English better than you read Chinese anyway. But if you, so you got to put something in the game that they can translate to on their side, that when they put it in the game, it translates back to you on your side, so you know when they're talking to you. No one's scouting my main. I'm on my baby arc. Alright, there it is. We have taken away first strike from that Stella. So the point of attacking is to take away the defender's first strike. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. So whatever lands here next, no matter what level it is, no matter what troops they use, because that defender's already attacked once, or defended once, the next person to attack gets first strike. Got her in the guest house. Oof. Sticking the mother-in-law in the guest house. Man, my main ship hasn't been hit in like 3 months. 3 months on our server, and I literally was so bored one night. I was like, I'm going to dump all my resources, and I've got a ton of meat shield. I'm just going to go pick a fight with everyone and bait in some fights. And that's what we did. But it's been pretty slow. The Galactic Battle playoffs kept us pretty busy, but it's been a slow month. We're going to see a resurgence of play again, but yeah, not a great time for the game. Too much, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like there's too much, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Not a lot going on. Everyone has to be shielded all the time. It's too risky. Invaders are marching towards your arc! Oh, shit. What is this guy doing? I don't think that's a good idea. What's in my garrison? Let's see. Alright, capital battle. Did we get the Stella? Did we get the Stella? Oh, 46 of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's somewhat of a punishment. Oh, no. Woo! Are you so jizzy besh again? Let's try the translator. Huh. Let's take that over to Google real quick. Whoa! That does not copy and paste out of the game at all. At all. Alright. Yeah, doesn't that suck when you're watching a replay and it's like, invaders are marching towards your arc, and it's just like, I can't do anything right now. Who is this? Alright, let's see. Let's see. 15 minutes. You know, I gotta make room for all those coming back right now. Marches to, what? All right. All right, guys, if you guys have any ARC-related questions, newbie questions, channel questions, and just want to throw it out there, feel free to. Now's the time. Pretty much gotten caught up on everything I wanted to talk about. So ask away if there's anything on your mind. And then hopefully I'll try to be able to wrap this thing up by, in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes I want to close the stream down so I can actually get to bed in a reasonable hour. Let's take plasma. There we go. Steven, ask me about the world event again. Ask me about the world event again. Every day, somebody asks me about that stupid world event. I don't know. I have no idea why it still says there's a world event that's coming. Like, they've been advertising that stupid world event for so long. It's never going to happen, I'm sure of it. Alright, we dumped off all of our troops there. Ow! Not all of them. Alright. I've got... What about formations? When to use what? Well, when to use what when, you know? That's the real question. When to use what when? Never use a full march, ever. Full march max troops, ever. Never use a full march. Unless it's an endless or explore. I think that's it. Ace of Galaxies. Never use a full march. Auto-deploy troops only works in, like, explore. You ever use that against an opponent, you risk the chance of them being garrisoned, black holes, plasmas. Just send tier 2. So don't ever send full march. Brian, if you've seen all my videos, I'd be impressed. Did you know there's over 334 videos now? 334. Only 100 and... Let me see. Of all the videos I have published, I want to say 130 of them? I don't even know. I don't know. Some of them are in the playlist. There's at least 130 specifically to Arc of War. Yeah. So the subreddit, Arc of War, on Reddit, is getting a facelift. Check it out. I'm going to put it in chat there. You guys can follow that link. The top post is the exclusive Strength and Weaken Effect 101. It's conspicuously named SWE 101, which most people won't catch on to until they click it. But it's a good video. It's a good video. How do I add browser source? Okay, add source. Okay. No. Let's try this. Arc of War. Ooh. All right, let's try this.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
This is a friggin' ad?
All day, every day.
You gotta be kidding me, YouTube.
My writing better.
As a student, I like that it's free.
Oh my god.
Alright,
Alright, is this too loud, too quiet?
Grammar errors, spelling errors, and even helps me find
136 at Melt University.
So I can say what I
Jesus.
want to say.
It catches all those embarrassing little mistakes before I hit send.
I downloaded
What is
Grammarly
this?
around my freshman year because I was just horrible at typing.
Grammarly
Are
is
you
the
kidding
best
me right
secret
now?
weapon for writing papers.
It's the perfect tool for your resume. You don't want any errors when it's your first impression.
I use Grammarly for important
How do I turn that
emails,
off?
social media posts, which there are a lot of.
I've used every tool out there, and Grammarly is by far the
How
best.
do I turn that
for
off?
writing. Grammarly's making me a better writer.
How do I skip this thing?
I would recommend Grammarly if you're a student.
I don't know how to skip it
My peers,
because it's like
my
in the
colleagues,
browser, guys.
It's like having your own personal proofreader.
I can't.
for
It's
Download
like,
Grammarly for free at Grammarly.com.
can we just start the video now? Thank you. It better start by itself.
Arc of
of War's
Ha!
most powerful
Here he goes.
and best kept secret
Ooh.
is the strengthened, weakened effect items.
Oh.
Let me show you.
Ooh, so
On
dramatic.
the left, you'll see a commander using only Tier 1 Rangers. On the right, you'll see Tier 11 airships.
Ooh.
Place your bets.
I placed my bet.
Ooh, he lands a hit, so there's no tier suppression. That's nice.
Hmm.
And 0 damage. Watch again. 0 damage. Ready?
Really lacked it.
Again.
I really should have been like excited. Like 0 damage. Tier 1 took
That's what we're talking
0
about today.
damage.
Here we go.
You guys like that intro? Some of my best animating work I've ever done. So proud of that. So proud of that. How do I pause it?
Greetings, commanders!
Oh, God.
All right. Let's get into this. So, the strengthened,
All right.
weakened...
Get out of here. So, I don't know how to skip ads when it's live in Streamlabs. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, so that video is live. If you want to go through that 20-minute video for the strength and weaken effect, I think it's 20 minutes. It is on Reddit now. And it covers everything from Tier 1 to Tier 11, what works, what doesn't, all the good stuff. And, you know, I highly recommend it. Some of my best work. I've been waiting a long time to get it out. I'm finally happy with what it became. So, you know, check it out. That's probably the most important Arc of War video I've ever made. Hands down. The bullet video was pretty important. The rock video is pretty important. But the strength and weaken video is good for everyone. Everyone. Even the highest level players in the game are still going to reference that video. I am going to make that video into new segments. I'm going to do things like a Tier 11 strength and weaken video. The reason I don't like doing those is because it notifies all my subscribers. I don't know if they necessarily need to see that. I'm very mindful that every time I make a video, it broadcasts it to everyone. So I only share in line chat if I feel like people want to see it. I won't share it in line chat if I think only subscribers want to see it. I'm trying to limit my scope of exposure so that people only see me when they want to find me. And I think it's going okay. You know. I think it's going okay. Yeah. What do we got here? Is that an arc just waiting to be hit? There we go. There. We'll go pay him a visit. You like that? You suck at Arc of War? Oh, God. Dude, these outros, have you ever watched YouTubers? Oh, God. They all do this thing where, like, they have to decide, like, how they come into frame. And it's like, oh, how's he going to come into frame this time? It's like, dude, shut up. I'm here for something. I'm here because you're giving me something. If it was purely entertainment, fine, entertain me, okay? But people don't come to my channel for, like, that kind of entertainment. I will admit that it has become a little more entertaining. I'm mindful of that. I am, because a lot of my older stuff is very structured and organized and presented in a very boring manner. So I've tried to make it a little bit funner. But doing the intros and outros, they're hard to do. I feel like you have to do an outro. You have to do, like, just for continuity's sake. Do you guys ever watch other YouTube? Like Demolition Ranch, he has his outro when he, like, yells at the camera, and it's so funny because he does it in public. Like, he just owns it, but he's so famous. Who gives a shit, you know? He can say whatever he wants. You know, the Brave Wilderness guy, he does be brave, stay wild, we'll see you on the next adventure. I really like it, but when you do it yourself in front of a camera, it comes off as very unorganic. Doesn't feel right. I've got one I'm working on now. I don't know. It's at the end of the Strength and Weaken video. If you watch all the way to the end of the Strength and Weaken video, I do a new outro there that I'm feeling out. I don't hate it yet. I may soon, but I don't hate it yet. Alright, my rock is dead. He's injured. Well, it's expensive to do that, but it's expensive to rebuild an army of Tier 7 as well. Alright, let's put this baby to rest. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. No. Hold on a second. What's going on over here? Is anyone being dishonest? Huh? Anyone not shielded? All right. Okay. Yeah, guys, I wanted to boat flip a little more in Centicon tonight, but I'm so far out and I have 10 gas. Look at that gas. Pathetic. So maybe I'll do something more on server 367 later on. Oh, there's some resources. Okay. Sorry, 679 this server, but maybe this weekend. I think there's a battle for Centagon coming this weekend. We have to claim a capital. I don't know if that's going to happen. 3 minutes left. Yeah, that's not going to happen. A Rogers with 100 tier 10 per slot. Somebody grab your balls. And, well, don't grab your balls too hard, but like grab your nuts and go for it. Destroy this one slot bust with tier 1. Just go with a bullet or a rock. Come on, 100. Oh my God. If I ever saw that in a capital on our server, I would spend 5,000 gold to speed march to destroy it. Absolutely. And if I lost, I'd just send it again. That is so much tier 10. These guys are crazy. This server is so soft. Holy crap, man. Oh my God. Crazy. All right, where are we at? It's 10:44. Let's see. Steven, you've got to be able to get Reddit on your phone, man. There's got to be. Something's wrong there. Something's wrong. Either the official Reddit app. Does anyone else have trouble getting Reddit on their phone? The Reddit is Fun app or the official Reddit app should work just fine. I've never had any of my devices have trouble with the Reddit app. Maybe it's full? I mean, I saw an error. I don't know why. What video was it where I was like, and if this video helped you, you suck at Ark of War. You know, it's funny. I don't remember. You know, one of the things about filming all these videos is for every video that makes it onto YouTube, there's probably 8 videos that get filmed. And most of those are repeats. But by the time I film something and decide if I want to go through the struggle of editing it and adding intros and all that stuff, just sometimes it's like I'll scrap the whole project and reshoot it. It's absurd. Absolutely absurd. I don't know. Does someone else is saying the Reddit app works fine? I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea. Yeah, try using the web-only option, Steven. Instead of using the app, it'll take you to the App Store, but you can try using the web-only option. You can just click it and put it in the browser. Duff! The new jacket came. Same jacket. Slightly bigger. Still too small, though. I don't know. Still too small. But damn. It's summertime, guys. I gotta change outfits. Gotta change gear. For Season 5, we need to get a new costume. Season 4, tomorrow night. The last time. Maybe not the last time. I like this gear. We'll just retire it. We'll get new gear for Season 5. No, man. This is a double X. And it still feels like a normal large. Feels like a natural large. Ooh. All right, guys, let's go into the world chat here. And thank them for the replays. And if you have a whale fart emoji, now's the time. Whale emoji. Is it that one? And Is it, what's it called? Gust? No. Emoji. Is it Gust? Dash. The dash emoji. There you go. If you guys want to copy that and put it in there. There you go. Yeah, it's crazy how small the Asian size is. Because it's yeah, definitely an Asian size, but like the whole malnourished Asian continent is like a thing of the past, you know? That was 2 generations ago, but the sizes are still tiny. It's like the sizes don't change. I get it, right? I mean, it's, yeah, I imagine now like all the males in Asia now are just like all wearing double and triple XLs if they're 6 foot tall. It's kind of weird. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it makes sense, right? You know, like China, Japan, Korea, in the 1900s, they were at war, man. Famines and just a lot of bad things happened. A lot of malnourished bodies. Sizes were smaller. But, you know, now that the world's kind of caught up and human rights are a thing, people are growing to their normal size. Ooh, look at those whale... Oh, I forgot. Look how cute that looks. I love the little whale farts. Aww. That's so adorable. That's just the best emoji. Just the best. Alright, the girl cutting her hair is pretty good, too. The cut a bitch emoji. I don't know. Stab a bitch, maybe? Haircut emoji. Alright, guys. If you want to send rewards, because you have rewards to send, Runt is asking for Pale Rider. Pale Rider, Pale Rider, Pale Rider. Let's see. Uh-oh. Wrong one. Oh, excuse me. Season's over. You're going to see the shaved head. The shaved head, dude. I'm bald, man. Been bald since I was like 26. Super bald. I'm thinking about growing it out, though, and just doing like the mullet, but like bald on top. What do they call that? What's the name of that? Mullet on the sides, bald on top? Shit. A skullet? They call it a skullet? Skullets. Oh my god. I need one. I need one. I don't know. I never really thought about it, but that one comedian, what was his name? Gallagher? Gallagher used to have a skullet. For sure. Oh, wow. Hey, let's cancel out of that. I call it a sexless marriage. Speaking of sexless marriages, we've got about 9 more minutes left, and I'm going to go tuck my wife into bed. Where's Pale Rider? Hey, Sap. Damn, making it rain. Sap, are you in this chat? I bet Sap's in this chat. That's why he was taunting me earlier when he sent that march at me at the very beginning. And then I sent that gold warp to him and attacked him. I bet he's thankful he was garrisoned. That would have sucked. That would have nailed him hard. Native Americans used to call it a scalping. Scalping. Call it a scalping. Am I retarded here, guys? What's going on? Where is Pale Rider's replay? All the way at the bottom. Burnside, Leviathan, Char. It's got to be a green name, right? Because the green name is the winner. Well, Sap hooked him up. Good looking out, man. Oh, All right, boys and girls, we got 5 more minutes. We're going to wrap this thing up. Anything I'm missing? Anything I'm missing at all? We've got to come up with an idea for a new hat. This hat's ridiculous. We never got the pen we were looking for. Oh, well. I'm ready to take this jacket off. Good God, man. Good God. Hey, let's take a look at the standings. Let's see how we're doing. Ah, what? Who hit me? 16,000? Where are all my troops at? Oh, that's sad. Oh, for some reason I thought I had hid all my troops away. Apparently not. That's fine. Okay. Let's jump back on melt. Ooh, gotta do something. There we go. What do you think, guys? Season 5. I think I could rock it. Just put the glasses on him. Put the hat on him. Straight mullet. Alright. What's Melt doing here? What's Melt doing? Oh, Lord. Celibacy. Is that really that bad of a look? I mean, come on. Baldness is selected for. That's why there's so many bald guys. Welcome to server 367. Wait, hold on. Ah. Options. Originally from server 148. That's interesting. Originally from server 148. You guys want to take a look at our Centicon? God made some beautiful heads. The rest he covered in hair. That's funny. God, look at this. I'll be honest, I don't even remember who this guild is. Are these Rav's alts? FTM Rav. I see some USB in there. TNT. There's 467. Me and that guy go way back. He's from my original server. Everyone's shielded. Man, look at TNT. The remnant. Ooh, hello. Ah, he zeroed. That guy was about to give full march with everything I had. But no, everyone's shielded all the time. If anyone's shield pops, I get a message in line to log on and destroy someone. But no one's unshielded. Always shielded, all the time. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to this game. They got to do something about this. I don't know. What's up, Alcassim? How you doing, man? You're late. You're late to the stream. We're shutting it down. We're closing it down. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live stream up with the conclusion of what happened tonight with NYC and AXR, and then I'll do a couple more questions. So let me just do it. All right. Tonight is day 1 of the finals. Today we had the losers match, the battle for 3rd and 4th place, where NYC and AXR battled it out to decide who gets the 3rd place prize. That battle's currently going on right now. We weren't sure if there was going to be a battle because last week the developers implemented a patch a change to the game on Sunday night that said you cannot participate in a galactic battle unless you've been in a guild for 3 days, in which some members of AXR were locked out of joining NYC who are on the same guild, thus leading to NYC not having a complete roster in their Wednesday night fight against GBD. GBD overwhelmingly won the game, but NYC very much could have won the game if they had their full team, because they are one of the best guilds strategically in the game. They made it to second place last season against CHB. They were aiming to go all the way this year, but essentially were, some would say robbed, others would say penalized. They were put in a situation that affected their ability to participate at full strength. The developers, I don't think intentionally did this, but the following night last week, AXR's match, they told all their players to not join, and they forfeited the game to ALD, which is how we ended up with GBD and ALD in the finals. Because ALD and AXR's match was a no-show last week, there was no replay, and all the players, over 2,000 players that logged in to watch the match, did not get to donate to a replay, thus robbing them of 10 magazines. So the NYC protest affected the entire community base that watches them, and sent a message to the devs that said, we want justice. As of right now, a conclusion to the story has not occurred. The developers, I think, recognize the indiscretion. NYC got their point heard. They decided to give us a replay tonight because something is in the works. I've heard a lot of rumors, legal action, the game being shut down, servers moving. Long story short is NYC was a viable competitor for the finals. They were, things were done that affected the outcome of their match last week, and the developers have to come to a resolution to make it fair for them, but also for all the players, because it could have happened to all of us. It could have happened to any of us, and we all would have been pissed. The bottom line is that NYC and AXR should not have been sandbagging one or the other guilds to increase their odds of going further in the playoffs, but they weren't the only guild doing it. They were the most successful at it, and it wasn't against the rules. Unethical, whatever. Argue what you want. This is a war game. Bottom line is that something's got to be done. So when we find out what the developers want to do, whether they want to give them an extra spirit stone or ghost stone, or if they want to give each member 100,000 gold, who knows? I told NYC they should probably tell the devs what they want for compensation, and let the developers counteroffer. So if they go to the negotiating table, and if anything comes to the table or whatever, anything comes to light, I will share it for those interested. And that pretty much sums up tonight's battle. They're here, they're having fun. They've got a grievance filed with the developers, and hopefully something good happens, because they kind of got screwed. How else to say it? They implemented a patch that said you have to be in a guild for 3 days in order to fight in the GB, and they put that patch in 3 days before the fight. They should have just waited till the season was over and just let them take advantage of the system the way that everyone else was, and this wouldn't have happened. But hey, it made for a good story. So season 4 was filled with controversy, and it still doesn't change the fact that they put up a great fight all the way through, as we expect. They're a great guild. And tomorrow night, we get to see ALD versus GBD. And it's going to be a legendary match. It's going to be tremendous. So, this is the banner. There is a crown in sand because it is a tainted crown. The winner, it would be not necessarily undisputed, right? Because of the debacle. So, more on that tomorrow. We're live streaming again at 9 o'clock. And we'll pick it up from there. And I expect, honestly, it's going to be like 3 hours non-stop action. Whoever goes for it is going to really struggle to hold it. We are going to see those big Rogerses come back. GBD's big Rogers. And if ALD wants to win that fight, if they want to clear them, they could probably do it with Stellas and Golems. But if they want to do it fast, Lilith. Lilith, Lilith, Lilith. So that's what we're hoping for, guys. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, maybe we'll get to see some big Lilith action, change the meta up for next season. We'll see some Liliths, we'll see some Rockets. Season 4 has been amazing. Tomorrow night's going to close it all off for us. So I'm your host. I was your host. I am Melt. And thanks for watching. Remember, peace is bad for business. War's good. We'll see you tomorrow night.